All right, here we go. Game number 1, DauT against Hart, and look at that! Completely unexpected. Hart is playing Romans here, and DauT is playing Saracens. I can't remember the last time I saw this Civ matchup.
I don't know if I have ever seen that one. It is very surprising because Romans on that map. I mean, we saw Hart picking Romans. No, it was a different Civ. He was playing no, it was Romans against the Byzantines of DauT in the qualifiers. And there, Hart was trying for a fast castle approach, but DauT punished it completely, right? So maybe Hart is switching it off now and goes for fast feudal age and then man-at-arm aggression, or he just plays scouts, or he will try everything again and hopes this time he adapts better. I'm not sure.
So what was the strategy the first time against DauT? What was he trying to push into?
So what I think he was trying to do is wall, go for fast castle, and then push with longswords and siege. I guess that was the idea. I mean, Romans longswords are extremely strong, right? They have 5 armor, so it's nothing you can complain about.
And then when you're looking at Saracens, what should the opening be for DauT, and what should the castle age composition be for him?
Well, we expected Mongols, so he has to adapt here a little bit. That's for sure. But in this case, if I was Saracens, I guess, because I'm expecting men-at-arms, I will open with an archer range, but I go for fast feudal age, right? No fast castle shenanigans, and then literally adapt. Very important on this map is, we talked about it, there's a lot of hunt in the corners, so you want to ensure you get the hunt, denied by from.
Why is DauT sending those sheep back to Hart's base? He'd never expect it. He'd absolutely never expect. He'd never go over there. It is an excellent play from DauT because he knows the scout is going to be looping around this way, and he's going to snag the sheep over here, and then he's going to snag the other sheep, and these ones will be back to his base in around time for him to click up to Castle Age. So that's a nice little addition.
Yeah, he has to wait a little bit until they're there, but at least he has them. And now both scouts could find each other, barely missing each other. But DauT should realize that very soon, right? That there is something going on there.
Finds one sheep. He's going to just abandon the effort to go after those other sheep. But still, he's going to have 4, and Hart's going to have 5, I believe.
I think he took... Yeah, it was okay for both players there. And now it's a question, right? Both players up to feudal age almost at the same time. Remember, on this map, it is a little bit harder to go for the very, very fast uptimes, which we sometimes see on the other maps with 18, 19 pop. In this case, 20 pop is actually pretty fast. And as you don't really have the boars for the faster uptime, DauT is walling. And Hart, so far, not on gold. He doesn't have loom, so right now it feels that he just
like
wants
scouts.
to open scouts, Dave. Yeah.
And scouts are an adaptable unit to open with, right? You can transition into an archer range later, or maybe just go up to Castle Age if you need to. And then you go into that infantry approach if he feels like it's super strong. DauT, on the other side, feels like he's going to go for that archer range, and then the market is so cheap you can just put it down. And then you talked about adapting. With Saracens, it's one of the best civs to adapt with because you can just press those buttons, sell your stone, buy some food, and you're up.
Exactly. Saracens, one of the best civilizations to adapt, and helps a lot if you play those kind of
he's going to find them?
Oh,
no!
No, he won't. Oh, he will. He will.
All the way around for that! Express delivery from DauT, and Hart takes those sheep, or the goats, or whatever they are, and he's going to bring them back to his base.
That's so painful.
It looked like DauT denied something.
He has a lot of wood Hart, right? So I'm not sure. I guess Hart realizes that his opponent is walled.
Yeah.
And therefore he doesn't want to
He doesn't go for the stable, he goes for the market instead.
Yeah.
So DauT is sitting on top of that hill like, I am the master of the hill. Now you cannot beat me. I see that your stable was deleted, but Hart is just adapting. He's going for the market. He might sell his stone first, which is an extraordinary feat against DauT as DauT tries to take the hill, but Hart is in the better position there with more HP.
Yeah, and He definitely has a little bit of the advantage here. He cannot really engage. It would be risky for him to engage, but I guess Hart, you know, he's known to be mechanically super, super solid, trusts his micro, so I think he is still fine going against DauT here, and there is a Spearman coming, and Hart is not looking at it!
Nice
You will
job
lose
from
the
DauT.
scout!
Really,
That's huge!
really solid job from DauT to end up winning that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that literally means that Hart is completely in the blind. I love what he's doing here with the Spearman. Hart, I'm very surprised by that, Dave. He has not taken any boar yet whatsoever. Or rhino.
He didn't want to take the risk. He wanted to scout for those goats. DauT's going to find one of the goats and bring it back. He's still got the Spearman, and he's still got his scout alive. No scout for Hart, so no more information coming in from Hart, but I think he already knows roughly what DauT wants to do. He just wants to wall up, go for the market, and then try and get up to Castle Age. Hart doing the same thing, only now getting Loom.
He only goes, gets Loom now, yeah. It's very, very late, right? He was not punished, so it worked out for him. And when I look at DauT's resources, I'm surprised, Dave. You know why?
He still has stone.
He still has stone.
But, I mean, it's a map with no stone, right?
That's
the only map where DauT will keep some stone, and he's even sold 100 of it.
Yeah.
Usually he just buys it right back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially with Saracens, right? And with so much gold on the map, you can afford it. What I would also be interested in, just to get a better feeling on how the economy for DauT would look like. How is his hunt looking like? The rhinos. He has not taken his rhinos.
He hasn't taken anything.
So that tells us that he doesn't have as much food to his disposal as in theory he could have. I'm very surprised by that, Dave, that neither of those players have opted to go for the rhinos there.
Well, maybe he didn't want to take the risk, right? He knew Heart's scout was somewhere around there. He didn't want to lure it in. And it's too much of a risk for him to go out there when he can simply fully wall and then buy any food that he needs with that market. Hart still queuing up scouts here. He's got a wall over that really rough position at the front of his base. There's like a big hill there. His gold is underneath. So he definitely needed to wall on that front side. And DauT is now getting bloodlines. What's the plan in Castle Age? He's got that stable. Is it going to be camels, or is he going to open maybe with a couple knights to try and harass the back of...
I guess it must be camels, just because you're Saracens, right? They are so strong, not the best raiding unit. But I think DauT feels fine in the later stages of the game, because that's where he shines a lot.
Ooh,
so
DauT's going to the south.
Oh, that
is
could
Hart
be
going to see this?
So dangerous.
Is Hart going to see this? He's right near him. Surely he sees that. Yep, and DauT is there with the Spearman. He pulls the villagers away. The Spearman is coming to help, so he should be able to stop the scouts from killing all of these, especially with some preemptive walls here. It might help.
Wall! Why does he not
It's
wall?
like,
David does wall.
Why take the risk here?
Why does he not wall?
It's fine. He knows better, I guess. He's got a camel on the way. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But still, it's so easy.
Man, I was sweating right now.
It's so easy to wall that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I almost went crazy.
He's in on the wood line. Is there a hole there?
There must be a hole.
Must be a hole between the
markets
barracks and the market.
Yeah.
And he's going to kill a villager.
DauT micro. You can do it.
He gets one.
And he
he's
didn't
right
lose-
out the door.
And he didn't lose a scout. In the meantime, he was able to kill 2 light cav from Hart. So that was a beautiful exchange. And look at that! There's nothing. There's nothing.
Someone
except
arrest that man. Someone arrest that man. We have spotted a poacher at the top that is illegal. Only the elephants remain. I think Hart's still going to be fine with that, though, because 3 elephants is a lot of food. But look at that. DauT has discovered a villager. The scouts are in no position to attack that.
Yeah, it's also hard. There are a lot of things going on the map, so I guess he has not really paid attention there, DauT. I didn't feel like he was intentionally trying to attack there. And you know, that's a huge difference, right? Because DauT still has a lot of rhinos and the deer there, and we talk about, I think, 2,000 food there extra without having the necessity to place any farms there, and that's a major thing. And Hart on the other side, he has to invest in the early farms in order to get the food.
Yeah, so it's
running.
it's like 5,000 food available for DauT in the south, and up in the north we've got some berries, but in terms of hunt and berries combined, it's only 2,000. So it's more than doubled.
More than double, yeah. And it's a huge difference, right? So far, neither player looks like he wants to play super aggressive with any monks or any siege in the middle, which is also a very smart thing to do on this map, because you know the space on this map is very tight. And
what space? There is no space.
There is no space, right? So it really is a good strategy to make some shenanigans, but I guess both players, they know how much is on the line, and if you are in these kind of situations, you also have the tendency to play rather safe and don't take any risks.
Very similar approach. 2 TCs in the main base, 1 TC up at the hunt. Wouldn't be surprised to see DauT add another TC over at the gold just for safety, if not even for the production, right? And then start making his way into military after that. At the moment, though, both of them just utilizing the mobility. They're trying to find some free picks. DauT is starting to set up the houses. Will he set them up in like a nice little wall?
Yeah.
That could be a nice setup.
I think he will do so. Really gives you good security on your raidable exposed position, so that's a very smart thing to do. He's working on that. Right now, 3 light calves or 2 light calves in the night are trying to hammer down the wall, but DauT is on a point here, and you know, Dave, it looks like this is going a little bit more towards the. Oh.
He doesn't get the camel. Nice snipe there. Still scouts follow-up from DauT. I wonder if those are the weak ones from before. The wall has been switched. The targeted wall has been switched, and DauT is under the impression that he is repairing there. So we'll see if he keeps on top of that. He does. Well played from him. No pressure going to get inside of his base at the moment, but Pikeman is on the way from Hart. And remember the Romans, they can get those infantry upgrades double applied in Feudal Age and Castle Age. So theoretically, those pikemen could have +4 armor.
Absolutely. And then they're all of a sudden completely shredding, right? So DauT needs to be scouting that in order to have the right reactions here. And for Hart, the game plan must be now to push in the middle.
How many villagers does DauT lose when he comes out for that gold? Over.
I expect him to not lose anything.
I'd say at least 1.
At least 1 against the line.
Yeah.
I trust in DauT. He has the micro on point. And we see Hart. He is doing a few shenanigans in the middle here, so he definitely wants to push here. Okay, let's see. Come on, DauT! Come on,
DauT?
DauT! Don't run into your hometown.
DauT? DauT? Jordan, I think you lost the bet, brother. I mean, that's not so bad. It's only 1 villager, right? It's only 1 villager.
I should have known better, right? DauT doesn't care. Like,
in the grand scheme of things, 1 villager is absolutely nothing to him.
Yeah. I mean, he would have to invest a lot of APM for that to save it, right? So it's not worth it for
and he just casually sneaks through here. There's like 15 pikemen chasing him or whatever, and he just runs right through. He's perfectly fine. He pulls the camels away. He's got a monk involved too. And you were talking about the lack of space. I think if Hart wants to push in that area, actually building all those houses and the blacksmith there is kind of bad for him, because where else is he going to make his production buildings?
Yeah, that's a big problem, and very interesting also that there is such a huge forest in front, right? So it is going to be easier for DauT to defend here. If we take a look at the economy, both players roughly the same amount of villagers. However, Hart managed to sneak in 1,000 more resources compared to his opponent, as Romans, they are a little bit faster. Nice conversions here by DauT, still loses the monk here.
We've got cav archers coming out from DauT. Cav archers for him. The camels have snuck in again. Hart needs to take care of these holes that are in his base. I think he's covered the gap between the barracks and the market. I could see a little flag from the palisade wall, but there's still some gaps here in the housing at the front, and DauT is just running around. He's trying to escape. He loses a couple units and then decides to fight. Maybe not the greatest timing on that one. Also, look, Hart's got a double. No, that's not double siege workshop. That's just 1 siege workshop and a stable squeezed in there. Not much room at all.
There is not much room.
There's a hole there?
There is a... Did you not see it, Dave?
No, did you?
Of course I saw it. No, I didn't see it as well. It's just impossible. Like, this map is so weird to make the walls proper, right? Because there are so many hills included. Well, anyway, situation right now is looking very good for Hart, I would say, because he has to push going forward in the middle. He has the map control, And DauT really struggles right now to think about good way to counter that. He has CA, yes. However, Hart can easily, with Romance, mix in Scorpions. And Scorpions for Romance are cheaper on the gold. So it's really good for him right now, I would say.
Yeah, and DauT is leaving now with the Cav Archers.
Love
He's
it.
leaving as the pikemen get through the wall here. And Hart is going to go for a market in that little gap there so the Cav Archers can't get in. He's also made a house behind that stable just in case. It gets really, really tough with these hills to spot all of the holes into your base. DauT is still trying to snipe the villagers. No ballistics for him. Looks like he's going to be able to hold on that side. But now he's pushing up against the Mangonel and Scorpion. With the Knights coming, they're sitting on the hill. I don't think this is a position that DauT can push. I think he's going to have to go somewhere else with these.
Absolutely. He is in a position where he needs to mix in some melee units as well. Thinking about camels or knights even to snipe those siege units faster.
Out. Oh, nice.
Wow, Dave, you waited for that.
Up the hill, too.
Wow.
The positioning, the precision, the passion, Jordan.
The passion. Yes. I mean, it looks like it's a different player here. We're not used to see those kind of moves by our lord.
This is the part of the game where Vodka pans over somewhere else and DauT's losing like, like 10 villagers.
Yeah.
But that was pretty solid from the Lord. Hart having a good economy himself, though, and he's still pushing on this side and making life difficult for DauT, but we can see the pathing issues around those buildings. It's just crazy, and he's kind of set himself up for that.
Yep. Also, very important to notice is DauT already got Thumb Ring. So his CA are going to be so much stronger.
Crazy
And also, it feels like things have shifted, right? Look at the population of DauT, 130 versus the 107.
And Hart was ahead for a long time there.
Exactly. So DauT shifted up the gears by the looks of it, and now he's in full control of the map, of the game.
Yeah, and he's getting ballistics too, so DauT's going to have a ton of upgrades on those Cav Archers. Look at the resources here, Jordan. DauT is about to click up to Imperial Age. He's getting some of his Cav Archers hit by a Scorpion, but it's fine because he's got more in reserve as Hart finally stretches out for that gold. Looks like Hart went for a raid on the left side gold from DauT, but DauT was paying attention. And finally, he's going to have gold access himself.
This moment where fights are going on in the middle and you try to be creative, trying to sneak in the corners, hoping that your opponent doesn't watch. And Dave, you arrive there, and in the first second, you arrive there, and he garrisons without you doing...
Makes you feel kind of hopeless, doesn't it?
Feels you, yeah, exactly. Especially in those tournament games, that makes you feel like, maybe my opponent is on point and I'm not 100%. So it was very important as well in the mental warfare here for DauT.
Yeah, good Scorpion shots, though, from Hart. And the Scorpions don't have... I mean, you don't need a lot of investment to go into Scorpions. It's a very, very cheap unit in comparison to Mangonels. Romans get good ones, and it looks like he's getting a lot of HP damage, and he's trying to just hold the line while he adds Knights behind, but still much later to Imperial Age. Second armor upgrade coming in from Hart, so he's going to have to invest into Castle Age here. DauT is going to have those Imperial Age techs as long as he doesn't lose all of his army. He's losing a lot of HP against them.
He's losing a lot of HP, but he stands his ground, and he's just 1 minute and 50 seconds away from reaching Imperial Age. Look at his stone. It is down to 50. That means there is a castle going up somewhere on the map. We see it here, Vodka on spot. And if that castle goes up in the combination with him reaching Imperial Age, Hart is going to have a very tough time to think about a good way to come back in this game.
Well, how does he take out a Treb sitting on that hill? It's going to be so difficult for him, right? Especially with the Cav Archers roaming around. And once DauT has that Treb, I mean, he can take out the wall really easily with the Castle Treb combination, then get in with the Cav Archers. You can see him still running in here. So many Scorpions for Hart. He's repairing that Scorpion, so he continues to get value. He's out-repairing the damage from the Knight and the Camel on the Scorpion. Really well played there from Hart. Unfortunately, he can't push in under that castle, and he's going to have to find a different solution. The Knights might be able to do it if they get into the eco, but there's 31 Cav Archers for DauT, so he should be up to the task.
31 CA, that's very healthy for DauT. However, Hart has done an amazing job expanding his economy, growing his population. He is at 150 right now. And if you take a look at DauT, 170, so there is not a big discrepancy there.
That was good. That was really good. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
I was looking at you before I said it. I was like, oh,
man,
God.
You're hooked on phonics, man.
My heart was pumping.
Holy.
So yeah, Hart has done a good job. The biggest issue, however, is the tech, right? He doesn't have Imperial Age yet. He's not even close to it. Goes for handcard right now, and he will lose more and more ground, I suppose, in the middle.
Chemistry, Parthian tactics, it's crazy. There's another hole into the economy. Takes out another Scorpion. Once Bracer and Chemistry is in, the Scorpion Pierce Armor doesn't really mean all that much anymore against the Cav Archers. It just feels so much easier to take them down. And the repairs aren't going to save it, that's for sure. Hart still not on the way to Imperial Age. He needs some massive raids. It's not going to happen. He calls the GG. 1-0 DauT.
Very solid game by, I would even say by both players, really. We see a very nice moment. You know, any other player most likely would have tried to save that villager, and it would have been a mistake. Because
why?
One villager with
you have 64 others.
Who cares? I love that one. That's exactly how DauT thinks there. Like, it's just one. I love that picture. That's perfect.
She never should have been out there.
Yeah. It was her fault. Why does she engage against lions? She should have known. No, but I just feel like both players had a very solid setup. We saw until mid-cast stage, both players neck on neck. Even gave Hart a little bit of the advantage here because he was the one pushing with Siege with Pike. That's very strong. However, DauT has done the perfect move. He saw it and he didn't engage into it. He didn't try to defend it with his initial army. No, he ignored it and said, okay, if you're investing so much into your push right now, your focus is most likely going to be there, and I will just counterattack. And as there were a lot of holes, he was able to cause some havoc.
I think you can't push. I think you can't push at the top there, down that hill either, because it's a really, really tight choke point, right?
Yeah.
I think if he pushes at the bottom with the Siege Workshop, then he's not like bouncing off all of his buildings, trying to get around, forcing down through one wall of DauT. It's way more open. Obviously, you can't build on that beach terrain, but I think there was a clearing to the south. Maybe he was pushed away from that by the camel army that DauT was making earlier.
Yeah. Okay, also, I think Saracen's late imp should be very strong against Romans here, right?
Yeah,
so
Roman's late imp feels quite underwhelming, especially against Civs with like bombered cannon and everything.
Yeah. And then also the Mamelukes. What do you even do against Mamelukes as Romans? So Hart was in a losing position Civ-wise if it was to go to Imperial Age. So he made the right decisions. It was just like the execution from DauT and the counterattack was just such a big deal.
Okay, so next map. We know Hart is a phenomenal Arabia player.
Oh, yes.
Loves it. Do we think he's going to Arabia? Is he going to pick one of DauT's maps, or is he going for his comfort zone?
I think Hart needs to go for Arabia.
Okay.
That's his hometown.
Okay.
Right? That's his hometown.
And Mongols?
Arabia, he used it against Andy. So it is likely. Malians are super amazing on Arabia as well. Vietnamese are super amazing on Arabia as well. So I see one of these three civilizations here. Mongols, where else could it be? Fortified clearing, I would say underwhelming. Brood War.
Not really. Because you're not getting that middle area fast enough.
Yeah. So it has to be Mongols on Arabia. That's the only Civ which makes sense, or the only map where Mongols make sense, I would say. So yeah, Dave, I think it's going to be Mongols.
And then DauT, if it's Arabia Mongols, does DauT just go Mayans here? I mean, Mayans don't feel the greatest against Steppe Lancers, especially early Castle Age.
The good thing for Mines is that they have the discount on their archer units. So if you are capable of getting a big mass of ranged units, you can definitely fight against those Steppe Lancers. However, with Mongols, the timing attacks, that can be very dicey, right? So Mines maybe not the best bet here. I'm sure we will see that pretty soon. I don't know which other civs he had available, DauT, so...
My God, Hart's got the hoodie without the shirt underneath. I love it.
That's a nice combination.
It's like that's like the go-to home attire, you know.
If my head would explode because of the heat. Like,
No, he's used to it.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
coming from Peru to a German winter.
Yeah,
like that's a tough adjustment for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're about to hop into game number 2 here.
Okay, it's Arabia. Mayans versus Mongols.
Dave, unbelievable.
It's like we watch the game on a regular basis, Jordan.
It's crazy.
Well, I watch the game. You play the game.
Yeah, I don't watch it. I only play it.
Those who can't play, watch.
Yeah.
Those who can't watch, cast. If you were to ask DauT.
Yeah,
that's what he would say.
That would his answer be, yes. So yeah, very interesting matchup. Mongols with very strong timing attacks as they gather the food from herdables. No, not herdables. How is it called in English? The deer and the boar. Hunt, thank you.
Huntables.
Huntables. Yes, they were a little bit faster there, so you can go for some shenanigans here. But Hart is not the kind of person who likes those timing attacks, right? He's more about perfect build order and feudal age aggression. So I expect him to play like this as well.
Mm-hmm. So you think it's going to be like a scout opening from Hart? It's going to be super fast. You think like no loom up?
I think loom would even be a mistake to go here because you're so much faster up than your opponent. And if you go forward with the eagle, like in these scenarios, 9 villager starts, it takes some time with the eagle to go to opponent because usually you want to push in the deer to be as greedy as possible. That has become kind of the meta. And once you arrive with the eagle at your opponent's base, your opponent is most likely going to be up to fuel age and you lose the scout, your eagle scout against the scout. So I think loom is definitely going to be done in fuel age. And yeah, for Hart, you know, I know that Lyri likes to play scouts into skirms with Mongols, and he has been very, very successful with that style. So I would not be surprised to see Hart doing that as well.
I don't absolutely love that wall from DauT to the gold at the back. It feels like there might be other options, but I don't know what he's scouted there. I guess it's okay with how far the gold extends in towards your base.
I guess he expects his opponent to go scout.
Yeah,
and
really
therefore
fast. Really fast, yeah.
He wants to play it safe. Ideally, you push it a little bit further just to be safe from range units as well. But
he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
If we look at Hart's base, he's also got a back gold. He's got a back wood line. He's set up the houses to that wood line to the north, but it's going to be hard to extend that. We actually might see a wall on both sides of that wood line there directly to the TC, and then like another mini one around the berries in the wood line. Yeah,
very likely. It is very easy for Hart to secure the right side of the map, and then on the left side, that's where his focus should be. That's how I would play his map at least. But the fact that he placed his barrack onto the right-hand side is kind of an indicator that he wants to have the stable there as well.
Real emphasis on walling here from DauT early. He doesn't want those scouts to get in. I've seen it so many times though, Jordan, with DauT. Like, it feels like he never learns. He'll go for the full wall to the TC, and then he'll leave 4 tiles open, and the scouts will get in, and then you can just feel him swearing as he's chasing the scouts around with 3 spearmen. And it's like you could have avoided
just 4
this
tiles.
whole situation.
Just 4
There's
tiles.
the barracks right there. Let's see if he plugs the gap.
Yeah, the funny thing is DauT, you know, he's a little bit older.
Is he?
And just a little bit.
Okay.
And he used to play the game when scouts, when they ran close to the TC, they took a lot of damage. So back in the days, that was considered a very bad play.
Yeah.
And he still is in that era.
Oh, he's
fully walling.
Hang on a second. Is that where the archer range is going?
Welcome to 2024, DauT.
Oh, he's fully walled. Unbelievable play
he came
from
here
DauT.
to play.
Now, Hart is going to have the scouts on the field. He's going to control all the movements from DauT. I don't believe he's going to allow him to sneak out. So if DauT wants to come across the map with archers, he's going to need at least 2 spearmen to escort them.
Yeah, you don't know how many scouts your opponent goes for, right? So you need 2 spears just to be on the extremely safe side. However, DauT could also play it super greedy. He only has 1 on gold, so he's not planning on going for huge archer masses. So that is very interesting.
He could also just garrison 1 skirmisher like that, and then Hart doesn't know. Hart could think like, oh, he's constantly producing archers, and like he's gonna have to go for skirms of his own, and DauT's got the walls down, and then who knows, maybe DauT can just add eagles.
I like the way he approaches this, because Hart is not going to expect that. He will have scout skirms ready, and the scout skirm combination will absolutely shred the archer spearman play. So by DauT doing something else here, has a little bit of a shift in terms of the mind games. He will add, and I'm pretty confident in that statement, he will add a market very soon, Dave.
Yep.
He will sell the stone, he will fly to Castle Age, and then spend a lot of resources on those eagles.
Yep. The ticket to Castle Age is quite expensive, though. But DauT has paid for that ticket many times.
Yes.
There's the blacksmith right there. So Hart still has no idea. He just sees a flag on the barracks. He sees a flag on the archer range. For all he knows, there could be 3 archers in there.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yep.
And skirmishers are inside the range from Hart. I think 3 skirmishers is probably good until you confirm what is going on from DauT. Why would you add more, right?
100%. Because there's always this threat that your opponent is debating you into something. But yeah, Hart adds even more skirms. I think in that situation, we're the casters, we see everything. It could be considered as a mistake on the overall view. However, Hart, he doesn't know. So he can only work with the intel he has. And, you know, sometimes you also have to assume things. So playing-wise, as a player's perspective, he has not done any mistake here. What I like about what he's doing right now, he's really active with those units and he wants to apply the pressure. However, he sees some eagles there, so he has to be very cautious here.
Yeah, and he sees the skirmishers from DauT. He hasn't spotted a single archer, so he knows the investment is quite limited. He only saw 2 skirmishers from DauT. Now he goes out to the gold, and Hart is so good at adding farms behind military pressure. He's one of the best at it, and you can see 12 farms already for him. The eco is looking solid, 370 food in the bank already, and that gold transition is on the way, so he's definitely thinking Castle Age soon, as long as he can hold this army in from DauT. There goes the stone. The ticket has been bought, but he's only bought enough for the first step of the trip. He hasn't gotten the second flight yet.
Yeah, but he's very close to it. I'm pretty confident DauT is the first one to click up to Castle Age. I mean, he's just 50 food short in order to do so. And it is very nice to be the meso player and reach Castle Age first, because that allows you to have the strong units on the field first, allows you to get a map control, and allows you to dictate the pace of the game.
How, like, when Hart sees the prices on the market, how unsurprised is he gonna be when he looks at maybe selling some of his own stone? He's gonna be like, oh yeah, he's been here before. Yeah, okay.
Very unsurprised.
Yeah.
Very unsurprised. But yeah, I don't think he balances a little bit. He even sells 200 stone as well. So Hart knows exactly that he needs to reach Castle Age as soon as possible, and he needs to pump out stab lancers as much and as fast as he can. And fully wall, right? You don't want to have any holes in your base, otherwise those eagles are just going to have a field day.
I think it's still a good setup for Hart, because DauT is not producing range units. And step lancers feel really, really good against the eagles until you can get some pikes mixed in. Even then, like, the step lancers just run right around the pikes. They pick them off, and if you have like 6 of them in a stack, pikemen in a line will get slaughtered one by one by one.
It's crazy how strong those step lances are against the eagles, right? Against eagle and spearmen, as you mentioned, Dave, and especially in low numbers, right? If you're fighting 50 against 50, it's so much harder, but if you have like 5 against 5, I take the step lances any time of the day. And Mongols also have the advantage that their cavalry units, or the scouts and the step lancers, have a little bit more HP there, so they are even stronger.
So what's the plan here for DauT? You can see he's adding in a few extra spearmen. Is he going to come forward? Or is he a little bit scared of Hart maybe sniping the villagers?
I think adding a forward monastery would be a good play. But so far, I don't see him doing that. He's adding pikemen. I like that. He doesn't commit onto the eagles. And he's adding a second TC. Now, the inexperienced player or watcher could ask himself, why do you sell 200 stone when you have to buy it back, right? But we have to also think about it. DauT has adapted to the strategy Hart went for. He saw Hart use the market as well. And he saw Hart is walling, so he knows Hart wants to invest 100% into army, and then he can counter the all-in from DauT. And therefore, DauT said, okay, I will step down. I won't invest all my resources into army because you have a good counter. I will play greedy again and try to bait you into making a lot of army.
3 stable Step Lancer production from Hart. 3 stable Step Lancer
That's
production.
a lot.
He's going to have a lot of those on the field. What's the magic number for Step Lancers? Like 8 or something, where it just feels like a nice little group.
Yeah.
You can one-shot Vils, right? You can one-shot Pikemen, Eagles, anything. And once you're running around with those in the hands of a player like Hart with his micro, can be devastating. Look at how much damage they're doing to the Eagle. It's kind of disgusting.
It's crazy, right? You only need 5 Step Lancers in order to one-hit a villager. So they're not a unit you want to have in your base. Let's say it like that.
All right, we've got the houses coming up from Hart. He's getting the flank on the Step Lancers, and we're about to see him just kind of poking away and then running. He's got a 1-tile advantage. The pikemen are a theoretical counter to the Step Lancers, but Hart will just keep backing up, bop, back up, poke, back up. And DauT is sweating now. And DauT, you know, you have this army that you've invested to, and it just feels useless. It feels, and it is useless. The only thing it's doing is buying yourself some time before these Step Lancers make their way back towards your economy, because the pikemen aren't even getting a chance to hit the horses.
We talked about it. Low numbers. The Step Lancers absolutely melt those infantry units. You need the ranged units, right? So the step forward is going to be very tricky for DauT. Hart, I love what he's doing. He says, okay, I've defended the aggression. Now I will add my economy as well. So I played a little bit more safer, right? You could also make the claim to go forward now in his position and go all in, and I think both ways work. Depends on which playstyle you're comfortable with. I honestly think in Hart's position, I would even say I go all in, 1 TC with the Step Lancers, because my opponent has 3 TCs, yes. However, it is going to be so hard to sustain the villager production, especially when I put aggression with the Step Lancers from all sides.
Well, he's got 12, right? And he did make that other TC on the stone. I think he's thinking long-term about a castle forward, potentially. And he's got, I believe, a siege workshop coming up in that center area. So it's not quite as close as I would like to see it to DauT's base. That's kind of like a middle-of-the-road siege workshop. But maybe he's just trying to hide it because he knows the monks and the eagles are there, wants to protect that villager, and is going to distract with the Step Lancers. I think this is a really tough position for DauT. You're stuck.
It is, yeah. The good thing for him is he's Mayans. Mayans' economy is absolutely insane. He goes for the 4th TC. Yeah, well, I shouldn't be surprised it is DauT, but yeah. I'm still surprised. I don't think it is the perfect situation to go for the 4th TC.
Here we go again.
Yeah, what you need right now is as many units on the field as possible to defend against the upcoming
still has
aggression.
those scouts, so he's going to try and pull the pikemen away, loop in with the scouts. DauT is doing a good job keeping the pikemen and the eagles near his monks. He doesn't want to let Hart snipe those. One of those monks is out of faith, though, and he successfully clears up the Step Lancer. There's another monk joining the party, but the Step Lancers are coming in towards the pikemen, and that monk goes down, and Hart is going to find himself an okay engagement if he's microing properly.
Yeah, and there's a Mangonel also joining the field here, and this looks okay for both players. However, the Mangonel hits a very nice shot here, and the pikemen are going down.
Yeah, pikemen going down. Step Lancers, he lost a lot of Step Lancers in that engagement. Maybe more than he should have. Hart getting a little bit too aggressive. And maybe another Step Lancer being converted. The Mangonel is working away on the stone, but the production is there from DauT. He's got double barracks, pikeman production. He's got 9 of them now. A good attack round from Hart. Another decent one. And more Step Lancers on the way, but the monks are still alive. So great defense here from DauT.
This was just a stellar defense by DauT, right? Was able to find the right balance between how much do I invest into army, how much do I invest into expanding my economy. And right now we can see it, he's pushing back everything. And his economy, obviously, throughout the entire time is going to be better right now.
Man, it seemed like Hart just got too aggressive. He saw the monk get that conversion. He's like, one of them's out of faith. Didn't expect that third monk to come along behind and just dove in and then took his attention off the step lancers for 1 second. Really got punished for it. He's still not in a terrible position. He still has DauT on the ropes, kind of, as he's going to be able to clear up this army. And look at the stone count from Hart here. He's got 463. DauT, if he gets castle dropped forward, could be in some trouble.
I love that stat.
DauT built his fourth TC before the average Arabia player builds their third.
Oh, that's so good. Well, he likes his 4 TC play, that's for sure. Yeah, right now, DauT completely cruising, has the map control, has the right units. Hart will opt for a castle very soon, which will give him access to Mangadai. And Dave, if there is a one unit in this game which can give Hart a much better time in this game, it will be the Mangadai.
Yeah, Mangadai are so good, and Hart is going to go for that castle defensively on the hill. That protects his stone, it protects his gold to some extent, and also keeps his main base secure. Step Lancer production from him has simply not been there. He's also got 2 mangonels just kind of chilling in that forward siege workshop, so he's going to have to figure out a way to get access to those safely once again as the pikemen come in from DauT. That's a couple quick walls away from being a completely safe castle. The pikemen aren't really posing a threat.
And while monks are a very annoying unit, you know, if they are about to convert your pikemen, you don't really care about it. It's like the same as DauT's villager against the lion, right? He's just like hearing the noise and like, oh god, it's only a pikeman, right? So he's fine with that sacrifice. And now the 2 mangonels are being ejected, so these 2 are searching for a little bit of damage here. I'm not sure if they are capable of finding one though.
They might be able to fire away on the stone. He's going to get the monk, which is nice because it was converting the eagles. He's going to get the villagers.
Oh,
nice shot there from Hart. DauT definitely didn't expect that one. He thought he was going to go after the military, and good villager snipes on the stone from Hart. Well done.
I think he killed 5 villagers there at 1 shot. So that was good. And I expected no damage to be dealt.
And they're still alive.
They're still alive.
They've met up with the Step Lancers, so now DauT suddenly has to worry about that. Mangadai, it's only 1 on the field. He hasn't really started production. We also look at the food eco from Hart. He definitely needs to increase his farm count, but he's doing it as we speak. DauT's had a solid 36 on food, and he's done a wonderful job designing his base, too. If you look inside his base, the farms are in really good positions, right? He's used all the space that he walled in earlier.
Yeah, and very interesting as well because his base itself is very small, it's very compact. However, he managed to place the farms there very nicely, and therefore... Does he get one?
Nice! That was beautiful. Really, really solid job from Hart. More conversions coming in. Mangadai on the hill. Step Lancers on the hill. Mangonels, can they survive? Hart might be able to pull villagers to repair, but he doesn't. And all of the pikemen will go down, but they managed to clear some of the Mangonels and some of the Step Lancers at the same time.
So even though Hart, in theory, will come on top out of this fight, DauT is still fine to trade like this, right? Because his units are cheaper. His economy is insane right now. He has 12 units or 12 villagers more than his opponent. And yeah, this castle is a very important one. DauT needs to deny that, but I'm not sure if he is capable of doing so.
He's out of range, yeah. I don't think he can unless, well, he's still got units on the hill, and Hart will need to go for that castle in a more defensive position. Probably less of a threat to DauT, but if you're thinking about both of them getting up to Imp, this one's going to be harder to snipe, and it's also a point that you're producing Mangadai from. So maybe at the end of the day, it's going to be a little bit better for Hart if he's going into that Mangadai production. Still, we look at the Imperial Age timings. DauT is going to be up so much faster than Hart is.
He's going to be so much faster. First of all, second of all, we have to keep in mind Mayans don't need so much resources.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. And he waited, and then he shot. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Nice.
very nice micro here by Hart. And yeah, Mongols need around 140, 130, 140 villagers in order to really show their strength. And the Mayans, they are fine with roaming around 110 villages. So DauT is almost at the spot economically which he wanted to be. And yeah, now he has also access to plumes, so he's going to add those, I'm sure, as well. However, in the meantime, we see Hart keeps up there. Imperial Age is incoming for him as well. And yeah, so far I would say it is very equal, this game.
I'm actually surprised he got up to him so fast.
Yeah,
he must have had a ton of stuff in the queue. He just unqueued it and then suddenly found himself with a ton of food. Still only 24 on food is not fantastic. Also, interesting that they both have the same economy upgrades. No Castle Age Eco upgrades for either.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard, right? There's a lot of things going on, and sometimes you are caught in the moment, want to fight, want to be effective with your fighting, and then just forget the economy upgrades. But yeah, interesting, both have the same there. And now DauT goes for the second wood upgrade there.
Okay, so that's nice. Do you go Eldorado Eagle immediately, or are you more concerned with just getting Trebs on the field?
I think Eldorado Eagles are very expensive at the beginning, so it is more about getting good castle positions on the map and then try to trap down the castles from our opponent, and maybe even opening halberdiers. I'm not 100% sure here because with so many Mangudais you go Eagles.
Yeah, kind of armor Elite Eagle and then make your way into Eldorado later and try and. The most important thing, I think, is going to be to try and find openings in the eco, right? To split those Mangudai numbers so they're not sniping your Trebs consistently. Yep. And there are openings now. Hart was walled before, but he's not walled on everything now. Thumbring coming in for him, the armor coming in for him. He's still microing multiple groups of Mangudai. So really, really solid stuff from Hart. But you can see there's little groups of Eagles everywhere around there, and this is going to get really, really hectic for Hart. We can switch to his point of view for a second, and we're going to see him switch between multiple POVs. He's got double armies, worried about a castle on that side. There's a raid coming in. He regroups into the Eagles, which is tough. Oh, boy. Hart not having a good couple minutes here as DauT is finding success.
That was so painful because in these kind of situations, every single Mangudai is so valuable. He lost a few there. He loses a lot of villages here to the raid of DauT as well. And DauT, he's very close to getting his +4 armor on these Eagles as well. And with that, only Eldorado is really missing for him to really cruise through the game.
Only 12 Eagles too, or sorry, Mangudai as well. They've got Bracer. Hart can maybe get in that castle, but DauT's cut him off. So DauT has cut off his retreat point. He's also still raiding in the south. Villagers going down on that angle, and Trebuchet working away at the castle. Hart just can't find the fights. DauT is on easy mode here. With the Eagles, you just point and click. Hart has to do so much work to counter these.
Yeah, this is so tough in this kind of position. And if we take a glimpse at the population for both players, 170 for DauT, 100 only for Hart. And we have Arson incoming forging, and Eldorado is not going to be too far away from DauT as well. But I think he's even fine without them.
Yeah, I mean, Hart calls the GG. And that's a shame for Hart because I felt like he had a good position when they were both in Castle Age. DauT was stuck. And I think it's that one fight that kind of swung the game where he let his Step Lancers get surrounded by the pikes instead of the stop micro back. Yep. And maybe he was looking at his economy or he was trying to snipe monks or something. But one little slip up like that, and those Mesocivs, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas as well, can just overwhelm you.
Absolutely. Like if the unit in theory would have been used perfectly, for example, Hera in that position, I'm pretty sure he would have been very more successful with the push because he's just top notch with his micro there. He's paying attention there, and Hart did not do so in that certain moment, and therefore he had to pay the price because his units were very expensive, very strong, very expensive, and DauT is just like, I have economy, I can throw those units away.
Yep.
Of course not blindly, but it doesn't hurt him as much as it would have hurt Hart, and that's what we see. And from that point on, DauT had the map control. He had the map control there, and he was just in a winning position there.
What's your mindset if you're Hart right now? You've lost. I mean, you're 0-3. This is day 4. You're down 2-0.
Yeah.
And you just lost your home map.
Yeah. And you lost the home map where you're really 100% at your home, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much Hart
It was your
really
primary residence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it wasn't like a vacation home
No.
or something. Yeah.
No, he stayed for quite some while, right? March Madness, I think, is just a vacation, but Arabia is his home, you know?
Ooh, it's going to be tough.
So yeah, in order to answer your question, I think his mental status right now, or state, is not going to be the best. Especially, as he knows, there's Brood War, there's Fortified Clearing still in this set, and I don't think he feels too comfortable on these maps against DauT.
Do you go Marsh Madness? Try and get some confidence?
You have to.
Okay.
You have to.
Yeah, you're down 2-0. You need to win this set. You got to get the confidence on your side and maybe try and tilt DauT a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those nerves for DauT start creeping in because it's like, it's a decider game for him.
And when they played in the qualifiers, DauT was up 2-0 as well.
Yeah, that's right. And
So
Hart
they've
managed to bring it back.
Exactly. They've been here before. So Hart, it really depends now on his strength in terms of mentality, but it is a very tough position.
Okay, Marsh Madness for Hart. Hart has Persians. DauT has Georgians, which I don't believe is a civ that we've seen here on the main event. He loves his mule carts, though, Jordan. Oh, my God. Find someone who loves you as much as DauT loves these mule carts. It's an impossible challenge, I think.
No chance. Yeah, he likes them a little bit more than I do. I tend to overbuild mule carts. I think I have not 100% understood the functionality behind them yet. However, DauT, he's the kind of guy who's known in the community, aside to Tado, to be one of the best if it's about adapting with new civilizations, come up with new strategies, new strategies, and therefore people have the tendency to ban Armenians and Georgians from DauT, as we saw in the last days. However, Georgians now available to DauT. I'm sure Hart did not expect that pick on this map and could take him by surprise.
And if you're unfamiliar with what the Georgians can do, we have the Manaspa as the unique unit, which is incredibly powerful, right? They produce quickly. The more you have, the more powerful they get. They get that attack boost. You start with a mule cart, which can collect wood, gold, stone, hunt as well. So it's a very, very powerful tool in your economy. You also have minus 50 food because of that mule cart you started with. Then fortified churches are boosting your eco within a radius by 10%. Your cavalry regenerates HP more per age, and then your buildings cost less to repair. On the other side, Persians, we know what they can do. Faster production is beautiful. More HP on the TCs and docks is beautiful. Faster production on the docks as well, and you start with the extra resources. Really, really strong in this current meta.
Yeah, Persian's one of the strongest civs on hybrid maps back in the days, and now they have even gotten buffed, right? Even in Dark Age, they produce a little bit faster, so that's very nice. And they have had the exchange from Paladins to Savar, right?
I like the way you say it, though. You kind of give a little oomph to the R at the end.
I would not be able to redo it. I was like, oh, is it that one? Yeah, but Savar. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, in general, Persians very strong. However, I feel like with Georgians, I'm not sure how well Hart is going to be feeling against Georgians here, because he is amazing if it's about sheer meta play, right? Let's see.
But this is a little unusual. So
yeah, exactly.
What do you expect from DauT?
Yeah.
Is it going to be a water play? Is it just going to be... you would expect scouts, but I don't know.
Yeah. Dave, how many fortified chords are we going to see this game?
Let's see. Game is paused, so we have time.
Yeah.
I'm examining the map. I see a TC on the gold over there. See another TC on the other gold. I see a TC. So 4 TC. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we go to 42 minutes in the game, we will see 6 fortified churches.
Okay, I go for 8.
8?
Yeah.
At 42 minutes.
No, I go for 8. Independent of the time. At this game,
time.
we'll have
Okay.
8 fortified churches.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It's part of the strategy.
You've seen it.
It's not part of the strategy, but my gut feeling tells me it's going to be 8. Let's see. DauT is kind of known to spam a lot of fortified churches with Georgians, which also makes sense, right? Your villagers are working 10% faster.
Almost to a fault, though. Like, it's only 10%, you know?
It is 10%, but it feels good, you know? When you have them, you feel like you're stronger than your opponent. Or you're supposed to be, and that helps you as well. Okay, so what I also noticed on this map, it is super hard to scout your opponent, because I don't know why it is a little bit harder to expect where your opponent's TC is.
Yep.
And yeah, usually you don't have too much scouting.
Well, there's also that neutral island.
Yeah.
You can see in the north, right? And sometimes that's bigger, sometimes it's smaller, so it's really, really tough to come across and see. And there's no real indicators to tell you exactly where your opponent is, especially by the time you scout. All the boars and stuff are going to be gone. You don't know where they're.
Precisely. DauT
archer range.
With an archer range.
And Hart spots that right away, so that's good info.
Yeah, he has 4 in gold, so it could be archer play with fires. I suppose that's what DauT will go for. There we see the first fire galley queued up. And what I love about Georgians is just their capability of regenerating HP on their scouts, or in general on their cavalry. That is so good.
Yeah, it's really, really solid if you want to take like a fight versus spearmen, clear it up, and then wait a couple minutes, come back later, or take fights against the villagers, right? And then you don't have to worry about those scouts being low HP forever, and it only gets better when you advance ages. So like knights feels really strong, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, the regeneration is very nice. We see 2 scouts trying to find some damage here, but DauT is on point with the spearman. Perfectly defended here. He needs to pay attention to his gold, though.
We've got 1 archer from DauT. The scouts are here on the gold. Hart trying to snipe that villager. He's not going to get it. And the spearman is there in defense, but the archer is kind of alone. The spearman is not accompanying that archer, and Hart will be in a position to cut that off and potentially snipe it. Another spearman there from DauT. Good job from him to track these scouts and keep his archer safe, and great job from Hart to just dodge casually, so casually around the spearman, as DauT now comes forward with spearman and an archer too, but there's skirmishers in defense from Hart, so he should be fine.
Beautiful micro here from Hart, right? He didn't take any damage from the spearman, and he was causing quite some havoc there for this stage of the game.
And
so
only now adds in fires too.
Yeah.
Like DauT opened with the fire, which is going to take away from his resources, but Hart knows he can just wait a little bit, keep his fires defensively, and then he produces 2 at the same time.
Yep. So in this case, Hart's greedier approach is paying off. Has 4 economy units more than his opponent, and DauT Scout. If I was him, I would just send it under my TC right now to regenerate, because that one is close to death.
Yep, and it could still provide some value, right?
Yep.
But he's going to use it for the vision a little bit, and his fire is going to show up. It's going to not hurt that Persian dock at all, and find the fire ship from Hart, and he's going to immediately turn around. Hart, you know, playing with the Persians defensively is not a terrible decision, because their TC produces faster, their docks produce faster as well and have more HP, so it's really, really solid. The longer this game is stalemated in Feudal Age, the better it's going to be for Hart.
Absolutely. Very important for DauT that he has added a stable, right? That's the building you need the most right now, as the scouts are going to be able to save you a little bit. However, with the archer-scout combination, that is very strong. However, Hart's micro is very good.
Yeah, Hart's really on top of it here. He's got the scouts in front of the skirmishers, sniping the archers behind. DauT constantly keeping the spearmen in front of his archers, though. So good positioning from DauT. And Hart will need to back away. Doesn't feel like an area that he can really pressure.
Neither of them has any blacksmith upgrades yet. And in these kind of moments, fletching is so important. But it feels like DauT, he doesn't have the time. Hart is keeping on the pressure so well, and the spearmen are just going to be sniped here by the skirmish.
Skirmishers pushing in, almost snipes the archer. DauT still has that scout roaming around in front, and no spearmen from Hart to do damage to that scout, but he does have scouts of his own in front of his own army. Still kind of a stalemate. Fletching coming in now from Hart as he manages to defend on the water. DauT still hasn't taken out any fish, and Hart is adding more fish of his own.
I think DauT needs to go back, abandon his gold here, because he's going to be overwhelmed here by Hart's army. Look at that, 18 against 13. This is looking so good for Hart, and yeah, Fletching is now coming in for DauT. This is going to be so tough to defend.
Good micro from Hart, though. Really applying the pressure. He's got so many scouts now. He's got 8 scouts with the armor on the way, and the skirmishers clearing up the spearmen as they come in and clearing up those archers too. DauT is under pressure. DauT is struggling here to get the units out that he needs, and Hart is pushing, but DauT has lots of HP remaining on his scouts, and this battle happens before the armor comes in for Hart, but it's still a decent one. The archers are going to die, and the scouts are all gone.
The scouts are all gone, and with that, DauT is plummeting in army population, only down to 2, while his counterpart he has 12 right now.
Excellent pressure from Hart.
Awesome.
Really, really great job here. He just needs to be careful with these scouts. He does have the armor, but the numbers aren't there anymore. Adding in some more fires. Hart starting to gain a little bit of momentum here as he is behind, sniping a fishing ship from DauT, and it looks like he's adding a market in his own base as he snipes another villager. Potentially he's trying to sneak his way through there. Hart, can he get it? No.
That was a very clutch save here by DauT. Unfortunately, the scouts from Hart were not able to get to this villager. However, he has caused so much havoc here. He is already up to Castle Age, and if we take a look at DauT's resources.
I wouldn't look at that. If I was a DauT fan, I wouldn't look at that.
Yeah,
it's not looking good. Oh no! Wait, he just used the market. It's fine.
Oh,
it's fine.
It is getting closer. It is getting closer. However, he's still miles away from that, right? So he needs to do some more shenanigans there. The good thing for him is, with fortified churches, he's going to be also able to secure his area a little bit and boost his economy, yes. However, there are going to be knights going to raid you all day long.
The magic of the market. He had 40 food in the bank like a minute ago. And suddenly he's on the way to Castle Age. But I mean, he's drained all his other resources. And you look at Hart's res as he takes out the fire galleys here, and he's going to remove the fish too. He can afford to add extra town centers. He can afford to add extra production buildings. DauT's going to kind of struggle with that.
Oh, that's just going to be very, very tough. I mean, with Georgians, you kind of expect to be... What? That's a 3rd stable!
Third stable. I mean, if you have 10 fishing ships, Jordan, you might be able to sustain the production. Look at the gold in the bank. 10 fishing ships, 24 on food. Maybe you can go 3 stable knights at first and then make a transition. Like just to hold the pressure on DauT.
I have a feeling, Dave, that Hart doesn't really want to go in the long game here. He doesn't want to deal with those Manaspas. He wants to end this game right there. And pumps out everything into army right now with the 3 stables.
The aggression has worked for him so far. So why not just continue with that?
For sure.
You don't want to get into DauT's style of game where it's just a boomy game and each player is waiting on each side for that big Imperial Age engagement, right? And look, DauT, he realizes there's nothing he can do. Hart takes the win. Well played there from Hart. Maybe a little bit of momentum. DauT resigns without even taking a big fight. So that's a great win for Hart.
It's a great win. And I think this game also illustrates Hart's level, right? Like, he's capable of playing so well. And that was just a top-notch performance by him. No single mistake was made. Everything was on point. It felt like Hero Lyri playing, so it was really, really good. DauT, I think, was not too happy with that performance here on this Game 3, but he still has the 2 home maps, right? So he can go in very confident into the next 2 games.
Yeah, we've got Brood War and Fortified Clearing. DauT will take a little break here after Game 3 as we head into Game number 4. And we still look at his civs. Khmer, Portuguese, Poles. On the other side for Hart, we have Malians, Vietnamese, and Bengalis.
Yep. Portuguese is obviously such a nice civ. Oh, Portuguese. I love Portuguese. You can play them on both on both maps, right? On fortified clearing, we saw yesterday Mr. Yo pulling the victory. Was it yesterday? I think yesterday against DauT, right? Or
Yep.
was it yeah, it was yesterday. Beautiful. With Portuguese, you have so many different options there, and yeah, with Poles in theory, not too much of an option on Brood War, I would claim. On fortified clearing with the big space in the back, that kind of invites you for those Poles farmers, right? And also, Poles have been nerfed or buffed a little bit with the mills costing 100 wood instead of the 125 wood, so the fall works. So it is definitely an option there, and especially on fortified clearing, you see a lot of light calves.
Yep.
Light calves cost food. So with Poles, that's kind of an invitation. So I expect DauT to have Portuguese on Brood War and Poles on fortified clearing.
Portuguese on Brood War is super solid too.
Yeah.
The extra 10 HP on your fire galleys is so nice. Just being able to confidently send them in and win the 1v1, especially if you're in that close generation that you see a lot of the time. And also, having such a power unit like organ guns there can be really, really beneficial.
Absolutely. The only tricky thing about Brood War is that you don't have the perfect, easy-to-go stone access, but usually if you're able to secure your water...
Well, if you win water, then you can just transport over.
Exactly. It's not the biggest deal there.
And if you wall yourself in, you could just go for Fetorias in the corner.
Yeah.
Very secure.
Yeah. So, I mean, DauT can be very happy with the remaining civilizations he still has to his hand. And especially in those... In general, you can say in these kind of matches... Winning the neutral map is a huge deal. Winning one home map of your opponent is a even bigger deal.
Yep.
So, DauT still 2-1. However, it reminds me a little bit of what they played in the qualifier.
Like
2-1. Maybe DauT is thinking about it right now. He felt stressed. When he passed us by, he felt stressed.
Hart can take confidence in the fact that he has done this before.
Yeah.
And recently, too. Not like 2 years ago, like a month ago.
Exactly. So he knows that situation pretty well. And yeah, DauT is very, very focused. Oh God, Dave, what do you think he's thinking right now? Like,
I think you want to be coming home on Brood War, or on fortified clearing. I think you go Brood War here.
Brood War?
If you're DauT.
With which logic he picks Brood War now? Like because it's the first home map he picked?
No, because I think his strengths lend towards fortified clearing more than Brood War.
Okay, so you want to get rid of the map which you're not 100% confident about as the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Brood War I think is less consistent. Because if your opponent starts right near you, it's a completely different map than if they start on the other side.
Absolutely, yeah. And that is the special thing about Brood War, right? Which I personally love, that you have 3 possibilities to spawn, like your opponent. And therefore, also very tricky. You have to adapt. Okay, both players seem to be ready and already playing, so we are going to hop into the game in a moment. And I'm really curious which map we are going to see, Dave.
I think it's going to be Brood War.
I go for fortified clearing.
You go for fortified.
And Brood War!
Read him like a...
Boke.
What's a boke? It's a book that floats.
Yeah, exactly. The boke. Oh, God.
Okay, well, we see DauT scouting the shoreline. He's looking for fish placements. And on the other side, we also see Hart scouting for a perfect dock here. Now, where they send the scout afterwards is interesting, but Hart knows exactly, with Vietnamese, knows exactly where DauT is. DauT will need to do a little bit more exploration, and DauT's actually gone for the Khmer here on Brood War instead of the Portuguese. He'll probably save that maybe for fortified clearing.
He will save that for fortified clearing. And with Khmer, we have not seen Khmer on this map yet, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm really curious what DauT is going to show in terms of strategy. I mean, with Khmer, you're very versatile, right? You don't need the barrack necessarily. You can build the archery range, the stable, right from the get-go upon reaching fuel age. That saves you 175 wood, so that's very helpful. However, Khmer don't have any advantages whatsoever if we talk about water play. However, Vietnamese, no advantages on water play as well, but their economy upgrades, they are insane.
And you can see right here, the economic upgrades cost no wood and are researched 100% faster. So if, for example, you go for wheelbarrow, what are you saving yourself, like 2 vills?
1.5 villagers?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Handcart comes in crazy fast. Conscription's free, as we see right there. And then Imp Skirm, I doubt we're going to see those, but maybe. potential if this game goes late. On the other side, we already talked about DauT. The only thing that might help you with the water play is that you can get up a little bit faster. You don't need those buildings, like you won't need the mill, but you're likely to have a lumber camp and dock anyway. So
very likely.
Yeah,
very, very likely. For me, the question now is, as Khmer have different options, is he going to go for a very, very, very tricky build and tries for a fast caster shenanigan? That could be an option. Or does he play it safe and goes for stable archer range to put on the aggression on the land and try to make a dock on his opponent's lake as well? So, yeah, we have a lot of questions about that. I'm not sure. I hope DauT is sure what he wants to play. He's the only one who needs to know. And from Vietnamese, I expect a very passive play because they excel especially in the later stages.
I think it's difficult to go stable archer range here unless you scout your opponent, because what if Hart is already walled on that side? Then you're just forced into facing the dock, and then you've already invested into other stuff, right? So it seems like DauT needs to get some information first before he can make the decision. Base
bow! Nice. Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. So DauT has confirmed that on the other side of his water, how would you call that, Dave? That's not a lake. That's a, what is it?
It's a river system.
A river system.
Look at DauT scouting.
What?
I don't think he's over there, buddy.
It's like, where is he?
Oh,
where is he?
okay. I think that's okay. That's
that's a sheep.
Okay, I thought that was the scout just doing loops, doing laps. No, he was obviously DauT, so he was back at his base, pushing in the deer.
It was not so obvious for me, Dave. I thought he actually failed big times there. Apparently not. Both players up to Feudal Age at the same time. However, we see Hart with the forward dock here, so he wants to put on the aggression here. DauT has not spotted that yet, as far as
doesn't even know where Hart is yet. He's just now heading over, and he's going to spot the walls, which is good information for him. No
DauT.
way.
DauT.
There's no
DauT.
way. Okay. I thought he was
Dave.
going to head over to the other corner first. He gets that information early. However, he has not scouted the forward dock from Hart. So great job from Hart to sneak that villager forward. And you can see he's prowling around with that scout looking for an exposed villager. And he's immediately going to go for a fire galley. DauT is in Feudal Age too, but he goes stable against a walled opponent. So what sort of damage can he expect?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's an exposed villager, though.
That is an exposed villager. However, the reinforcement scout is coming in.
The fire galley is coming out, too. I don't know if that scout's going to be in time. You definitely want to clear this up, right? You don't want the potential of a second dock.
He will kill the villager.
He kills it, and he gets away for the scout with the scout for now, but not long term.
And that was so crucial, because now DauT can repair and Hart cannot, so he should always be able to win those fire galley fights. Of course, Hart has the advantage here in terms of when the fire galley comes out. However, DauT has the defender's advantage, and he has 7 on gold, so he will be, without any problem whatsoever, able to continuously produce those fire galleys.
Nice block. It was a good opening from Hart, but losing that villager is going to hurt, especially when you're thinking about repairing the fire galleys. However, DauT can't really send a villager forward to repair either, because that scout is still patrolling there from Hart, and he needs to keep that in mind.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, scouts of DauT, he can
nice
easily
block.
produce them.
Nice block. No. Yep.
Man, DauT is actually microing. I love
Beautiful.
this.
Yep.
I love this, Dave. Perfect play here, and we see actually the stable and arch range play. So it makes sense to have 7 on gold if you want to produce fire galleys and archers at the same time. There is another villager being sent forward. Is DauT going to spot that one?
I think
looks
so.
like that.
I think so. He might spot it here with the villager. He sees it going back, and that's probably a wise decision from Hart to send that villager back. It's going to be too little too late, though, because the scouts are coming from DauT, and there's still a hole there. He needs to plug the gap. I think he's probably sending a villager forward. Will it be in time? Just distract with this dude.
Yeah, and now Hart needs to transition to land for sure as well. And Hart, he needs to finish this wall. He has done so, and he needs to wall behind. So now it's all about getting archers out for Hart here. And so far he has almost 2 fire galleys in the dock or the river system of DauT, and he has walled very nicely. So he has not taken any lethal damage here, but he doesn't have archer wood for an archer range. He only has 5 right now on wood. That's horrible.
I've thought about it a little bit more. It's not a river system. It's an oxbow lake.
Oxbow Lake.
Yep. I just
I'm not
want
sure
you to
if
incorporate that.
Oxbow Lake, really?
Yeah. I just want you to incorporate that sometime in the future in this cast.
What is Oxbow? But okay, I will go for the Oxbow. So yeah, DauT is putting the aggression here with the 3 scouts. Managed to get a forward dog as well on the Oxbow Lake from Hart.
Nice.
Davis, you're close to die. I love that. I love that every single time we cast. What is that Oxbow, by the way?
All right, archers pushing in.
I have no like that
at
is
the
yeah.
front. And the archers are providing a lot of pressure, but Hart is there with a fire, so he noticed the dock early from DauT. Hart's resources are looking really solid here, Jordan. So he's managed to defend himself for the time being, forced to go for a tower. I mean, as long as you can hold DauT out of your base, your faster castle age might be able to pay off, but it's some solid pressure.
Yeah.
DauT so far.
It forces a lot of reaction as well, right? He's about to lose his fish as well on his Oxbow Lake, so I'm not sure. I'm a little
You're
bit.
doing good, man.
I'm afraid to use the word because the reactions they tell me it's wrong, but I do it anyway. I trust Dave. Okay, guys, he would never betray me.
Never. All right, fires are working away. Great house balls from Hart behind that. Man, Hart needs to hold this, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot let this in. And he needs to go Castle Age, and he's forced to invest so much into skirmisher production, into these houses, into everything. He's had the resources so close to Castle Age for a very long time, but he just can't click because DauT is still providing the pressure. Oh man, this is do or die here for Hart. He's got a demo in the queue. He's thinking about demoing those archers, but it's not fast enough. Whoo, this is nerve-wracking. This is really nervous for Hart.
Yeah, but we have to say, Dave, Hart has been doing such an amazing job, even though the pressure has been so high from DauT.
DauT hasn't gotten in.
He has not gotten in, so Hart has been able to keep his composure. And with the demo coming out...
It came out. No, it's right there.
No! Boom! I thought it would be a bigger damage.
No.
I
it was
thought
only
so.
a demo ref, but I mean, you thought it would be a bigger
he's
damage.
in,
It's
Dave,
still
he's
5 archers. Imagine if he still had those 5 archers. The villagers are weak. The scouts are working away. Hart is trying to run. DauT is right behind. He can't get the house up behind this, and villagers are dying here as DauT pushes his way into the base. Another villager goes down. Eco KD is sitting at 9-2 in favor of DauT.
Oh, this is looking horrible for Hart. He has had such an amazing setup, but DauT was able to force himself through here with his army, and he's fine.
And he's still not up!
He's still not up. He has 2 on food right now, Hart. Only 2!
Oh my god! And we can see the replay here of the demo against the archers. It came out, 5 of them died. That was a nice boom, nice setup from Hart, but DauT got so much value in the moments after that. And DauT is up to Castle Age before Hart.
It's insane. When Hart had 600 food, I think DauT was floating at around 100.
Yeah.
And now he's up faster. So that is such an insane thing. And DauT now feels that he has the momentum. He adds a second dog on the... how's it called? Which lake? Oxbow? Whatever. Whatever. On the lake. And he is going to be able to apply so much pressure here.
You're doing great, Jordan.
Now it's an Oxbow. Yeah, whatever. Dave is cracking up. I like it. That was my intention for this cast here.
In faster for DauT. And Castle Age is finally on the way for Hart. He's done what he can to steady the ship here, but it's going to get really, really tough. And I think, unfortunately for Hart, he's not in a position where he can really push with anything, right? DauT is going to be the aggressor, and Hart is just going to have to hold.
Yeah, Hart is going to be forced to play super defensive. The good thing for DauT is he has the entire map control. And on this map, map control is literally everything. It's as important as on Arena. With the way DauT approaches it as well is that he could potentially deny Hart from going to the transport to the island there, where a lot of resources are, right? So DauT is in a very cruising position. He should add a siege workshop right away in the front to apply as much pressure as possible.
Okay, so Hart has a couple demos. He's got one in the dock, he's got one in the queue, and with the way that those fires are stacking up, he might be able to take it out, but War Galley, 20 seconds away from DauT, and that upgrade is going to upgrade all the ships there from him, and it's going to make it really, really tough for Hart to push this back, and DauT is still controlling the land entrance to Hart's base, second town center on the way from DauT as he tries to get some value with the demo. He does, and Hart gets a good demo raft of his own. Another good demo raft, but the War Galley research is still not in from him.
Yeah, he's 16 seconds away from that, and I don't like what DauT is doing. He plays a very risky game. Might be working out for him right now, but it's still a risky game he's playing. Yeah, now the War Galley upgrade is in, and in the meantime, he is knocking on the door from Hart.
Yeah, Hart doing a pretty good job to stabilize here. He's still got his fish alive, but he lost so much in that interim period where he couldn't click up to Castle Age that it just feels like you're going to need to force a ton of mistakes from DauT. I like the fact he didn't use that demo there.
Yeah,
I really like that because you can get the value with the fires just fine. Also, Hart's about to chop through here. He could go and harass DauT's wood line on the other side. I think there's probably a way through those trees somehow, right?
Yeah, so
there's an opening, maybe, for him to do damage.
For sure, for sure. Hart has to be very quick, though, because DauT is very close to chopping out himself as well. And as both players are spawning in the way they are spawning, that middle area on the forest is going to be so important. And that was also something which has been changed on this map, right? In the past, it was fully
wooded.
Fully wooded, yeah.
Yep.
Fully forested, and is that a word?
Yeah, fully forested.
Wow, crazy. Okay, and now players have to adapt this, and yeah, you can already see both of them are thinking about outposts here at least.
Hart's like kind of discovering the maze, right? He's looking for a way through, and DauT's also sent a villager. He's looking for a way through too, and DauT already has the knights and a cav archer. So DauT has the units available to go pressure that. Hart is forced to go double monastery defense to defend. Hart also made a transport ship, so he's sending villagers over to that island, which is great because he needs room at the moment.
He needs room as much as possible because there's so much aggression coming from DauT. And look at the resources from DauT. He has so much food in the bank. He's going to be able to spend the food very nicely on villagers, growing economy in the meantime, adding knights to harass his opponent's economy. And yeah, he's cruising right now.
Oh, nice snipes there on the spearmen. The monks aren't quite out just yet. Good quick walls, though, from Hart to save his villagers. Unfortunately, the knights just loop to the other side, and DauT's going to find some value on the vills. The monks are out from Hart. He might be able to think about pushing that back, but the Mangonel is getting super aggressive from DauT, and there's another follow-up Mangonel behind that.
Yeah, and how can Hart stop this Mangonel? I don't see a...
Gold too!
This is a disaster for Hart. He's losing so many villagers in the process, and he doesn't have an answer to this Mangonel. He doesn't have redemption.
He needs to convert knights. He needs to convert knights and then send them after the Mangonels. His tower is working away on that, but now DauT is going to sit underneath that tower. He's going to keep shooting away. One monk is trying to convert the knight. This is all that Hart has. He's going now for a third town center on that island to secure some more resources. 2 knights targeted for conversion. Will he get the conversion? He gets the one. Will he get the second one? This is so important. He gets it, and he's able to save the monk inside the TC. So maybe some hope for Hart as he pushes forward with these knights. Nice split there around the attack round from DauT.
And exactly those 2 converted knights are the key for Hart to push those Mangonels back.
Mangonel shots too! Will he get the conversions here?
Oh, DauT is not devoted! He will lose so many knights to those monks here! Okay, he managed to kill one. But Hart has done a very good job defending this one in a very dire straight situation. However, if we take a look
at villager count, oh boy.
Yeah, if we take a look at there, it's not looking too healthy for Hart whatsoever. 80 villagers against the 48 only from Hart. So
look at the resources from DauT. Look at how fast that food is coming in now for him. And then you look at the food count from Hart.
Yeah.
Oh, man, such a rough situation.
Look, Dave, look at the resources collected. 20k against 30.
Oh, my God.
At this stage.
That is
insane.
Wild. That is absolutely wild. DauT's still controlling that wooded area with some cav archers. He's still got knights forward. He's got a 4th town center along the way. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think what DauT needs to do right now, add stables and fully produce light cav. He right now doesn't have access to gold. Apparently, he only has 2 on there. So that's a good thing about light cav. You don't need gold for that. You only need food.
Well,
and
he does have a market, so.
Yeah, that's gold enough or gold income enough for DauT here. And the good thing, he does it right now with light cav, with Khmer. They cost only food, and Khmer excel the most if it's about food economy. So perfect unit for the Khmer here. And DauT realizes that and goes for it.
That's some nice damage with that mangonel too on the fishing ships. Like anything that any eco that Hart could use to even get a little bit of additional food would be so helpful. And he just sniped, I think, 4 or 5 fishing ships right there. Beautiful job from him. Light cav on the way. Now from DauT, we got the armor upgrade coming, and he's taking care of the outpost here from Hart. Hart gets Sanctity, and he's got 6 monks. He's going to need conversions from each one of these monks, and he can't afford to lose any of them.
Exactly. And I'm not sure if he expects the light cav, because he is very aggressive with his monks right now. He pulls them back. He gets the confirmation that the light cav are on the field. However, what can Hart do now? He does not have access to stone yet to get the castle. 400 still missing. We see some conversions maybe.
We need a quick wall there or something. We need a quick wall there or something. We've got the monks garrisoning, but there's not enough room. The villagers are taking the seats allocated towards the monks. DauT will need to retreat, but he manages to snipe a monk first. And Hart doesn't look like he can get it done here. DauT's going to take that one as Hart calls the GG. 3-1 for DauT. I think it was a great last game there from DauT. Lots of pressure. Hart held so well throughout the early part with the archers and the scouts and getting the demo hit, but it was just inevitable that that house was going to go down, and once it did, ooh.